Hey, this is Scott over at Paper Moon Music. In this video, we're going to take a look at a short Romanian waltz called Danube Waves. It's also known as the anniversary song. It's a beautiful little piece, nice and short, but there are some tricky parts, so if you're just getting started with this kind of thing, stick around to the end of the video and I'll have a preparatory drill for us, kind of a basic fingerstyle movement that we need to make for waltzes like this. I'll also walk through some of the trickier parts of the song and give you some tips on how to get through them. So let's check out this waltz. Okay, a great way to warm up for this waltz, or just to get familiar with this waltz rhythm in general, we're going to play our thumb and ring finger on the outer strings, and then on these two, the second string and the third string, we've got our middle finger and index played together. So you can lightly touch them together so they work as a unit more. So I'm playing these two, the ring and the thumb, together, and then these two fingers twice. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the thumb may change depending on the chord. We might play our thumb here, and then your ring finger might even play on the second string depending, so we could do that as well. I've got the fifth string here with my thumb, second string with my ring finger, and then the two strings in the middle, I'll pluck twice. 1, 2, 3. So in the arrangement of the piece that you just saw, I have, for the most part, the chords that you'll need written above, and that's a good guide when you actually are playing the arrangement. Try to hold the chord if it's written, and you see that I'm doing that in the video, and that is helpful because a lot of times all you have to do is hold the chord down and the melody's taken care of for the most part. But for this, we're going to play the chords only with this waltz rhythm. So here we go. We're starting with an E chord. You can also make it E7 if you want. I'm just going to keep it at E. Going like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Got 4 measures of this. Then A minor for 4 measures. My thumb changed to the A string. Then we got D minor for 2 measures. A minor. E7. A minor. Now we go to an F chord, any F that you like. You can play a gigantic one or this short one. 1, 2, 3, 2 measures of that. To C, then D minor 7, G7, to C, then E again, or E7, A minor, then we got our D minor, E, A minor. Let's run through some of the sections here. We start with an E chord, where we certainly don't have to finger that whole thing, but it's kind of convenient just to leave it all down. So we're going, and your pinky is going to play that A note right there because we're holding that whole chord and our other fingers are occupied. Then A minor, take this finger off, and then play the high E string. The melody is the most important part, right? So try to make that note nice and loud. This is a D minor without this finger, so it sounds kind of interesting. D minor 6 chord. Pinky plays this note. Now here's a tough part. Your pinky goes over here to G sharp. Let it ring out while you go like that. If that's tough for you, just don't do it. Just play the open chord, the low E string, and go, because that's just part of the chord anyway. In fact, it's the root of the chord, so it would sound fine to do that. But what's written is this, dun, dun. Then we have what looks like an A minor chord, but we don't need this finger, so I'm going, pinky plays that. Now, this is a tough spot right here. I'm killing the string because I don't want to hear that A anymore. Not a big deal though if you let it ring out. We're playing this little scale here. I'm using free strokes with my index and middle here. You could do rest strokes if you like, although that can kind of throw us off sometimes. And I'm going to end with my pinky. I go da, da, pinky here so I can slide up and do this. So we've got what What we see in the video is me stretch out way down here, and that's pretty hard stretch. So if you don't want to do that, just stay on this F. It's just an F note. It's just an octave lower, but it doesn't matter, just keep it here. So here's an option to make it easier. Just drop this note down 1 fret and keep the rest. But what I did in the video was I slid my ring finger down and stretched out here. And I'm keeping my pinky where it is. That's one of the, I think, the hardest part of the whole song. We're trying to let those bass notes ring out, and I'm going these two, that, index here, ring finger here, and your pinky is going to play the 3rd fret of the 1st string, middle finger here. Don't take your index off. That's easy to, your index is going to want to come off, but we're going to play it again right away. So we go, just leave the index down. It really makes it easier. And then here we're playing a D minor chord like this, a little tiny bar on 2 strings. Now this next part, we're going to add a G to this. And this is kind of weird. At the very end, we have to switch to a G7. I think one workaround for that might be to play this, D minor for 1 measure, as it's written. 1, 2, 3, and then here, switch to a G7. Meaning that we can take the bar off at the beginning of this measure, and I think that might be easier. Okay, there's so many different ways to make something more simple, and sometimes things are needlessly hard, but that's what it says in the music. That's what's written, or you could go. Now here we're getting back to a C chord, except we have an F on top here, and I've got this finger down in preparation of playing the C. So then we're back to an E chord with our pinky here on D, which makes it an E7. The bass changes right there with your thumb. We play the low E, then your thumb plays the 5th string. Keep your pinky where it is as you form A minor, which looks the same as E. And then we jump over here to get this bass note. And the reason that we're playing these 2 notes instead of like this is that we need to stretch out and get this high A note. So we want these to ring out. So we're playing them with these fingers instead. And you can kind of wait on this note as long as you want. I think that's a good spot to kind of just let it breathe. And then we're going to a D minor chord, kind of. Use your pinky here if you like. Ring finger is fine too, but sometimes, even though the pinky's weaker, it's less of a stretch. So I'm using the pinky there. And then we've got an E chord, an E7 with this C note added. And then part of an A minor chord. So I hope that helps you get started playing this waltz. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about it, and I'll see you in the next video.